good evening, and welcome to Mayday Roleplay. Thank you for joining us upon the Seven Seas for a very special one-shot of Backchannels, a game by our friends over at Backwards TTRPG on Twitter. They're creating regional gothic horror TTRPGs to tantalize and terrify your players. You may have seen playthroughs of their previous locales, Backwoods, a New England Gothic, and Backwater, Southern Gothic horror. We'll be playing their brand new Backchannels, a saltwater gothic horror game set in the southeast of the United States and parts of the Caribbean. All of their books are standalone and have everything you need to play, so check out their Kickstarter on their socials and subscribe to know when the page for Backchannels launches. I think it's supposed to drop this month, and it might already be dropped at the time of this coming out. Who's to say? We're excited to support them no matter what, because this game is fun as hell. A few more bits of housekeeping before we get started. We'd like to thank our handler-level Patreon contributors. Their involvement allows us here at Mayday to continue to produce and tell stories for your viewing pleasure. So thank you, Adrian K, Ojapan, Bimble Wart, Cameron S, Eric A, Jonathan M, Ren, W2F, and who's this but Alex Johnson, co-creator of Backchannels.
Thanks,
our
Alex.
Sweet friend, our sweet talented friend. Thanks, Alex. And hope you're enjoying the game, friend.
Hell yeah.
If you too would like to contribute to all things Mayday, be sure to find us on Patreon. You'll get access to early releases, art, and our Discord server built around our wonderful community there. If this is your first time at Mayday Roleplay, hey, welcome. And you can catch up on or view our catalog of completed seasons and shows like Tales from the Loop or Vegas by Night by subscribing to our YouTube channels for VOD or Spotify and SoundCloud for podcast-friendly recordings. And as always, follow us on all major social media platforms or check our website for updates on future content and other news. Backchannels is a gothic horror game, as I have previously stated, and this actual play is intended for mature audiences. I was gonna say adult, and then I was also gonna say mature, so we got madult. But, you know, adults aren't really here right now. Mature audiences. Please be advised, there may be violent themes because pirates, adult language because pirates, and exploration of darker subject matter because, again, pirates. So please take care of yourselves and be aware. Things to look out for this episode are blood, gore, bodily mutation, and possession. Safety tools are used at our table, and the X card can be employed at any time. Now, unless there's anything else, friends, we good?
Good.
All right, let's begin. All right, so let's have everyone introduce themselves, introduce their character and the archetype that they're playing, and where we find these fine folk on our ship. We'll go ahead and start with you, Vince.
All right, yeah. Hey, folks, I'm Vince. I will be playing Colton Calloway, the Florida spy. As the ship's powder monkey, I'm just kind of hanging out, below deck, keeping that powder dry, baby. Making sure it ain't wet, because if it's wet, it won't fire. And if it don't fire, I'm guessing the cannons won't work. So I don't really know what I'm doing down here. This is just the job I ended up with because I was the last one to pick, and it was the one nobody wanted. So I'm just doing the best I can, okay? Just waiting to see what we do next because, I'm waiting for the acting captain to say, hey, here's your marching orders. Here we go. Other than that, yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day to be here, folks.
Fantastic. We'll go from our powder monkey down to the engine room to our carpenter.
Hello, my name is Zach, and I'm playing Lomo Turiwork. They're a swashbuckler with a poof glitter amount of shiny things around them. They also have like a mess of locks on their head and a bunch of loose, maybe grease-covered, just detritus-covered clothing. And they, based on how we ended our break very recently, may have built an explosive, to which I would like to ask, did I build an explosive, or can I?
I'm gonna say I need a craft roll.
Awesome.
Have you built a bomb before?
Not on purpose.
Okay. You're on a ship in a dark place and you've never built a bomb before, so I'm gonna say you have worst of 2 going on this. So roll 2d20 and take the lower.
Awesome. Great. That's an 11.
An 11. Okay.
Strong 11.
So it's not as bad as it could be. You've like snuck some black powder from Colton. You've found different pieces of the ship that you've started to like mash together. What kind of bomb were you trying to make?
The thing I was trying to fix the engine, and then Bite made a suggestion, and from there I said, no, that'll make a bomb.
Gotcha.
And I think I've taken whatever I broke that last bad roll trying to fix the ship, and I don't think I have the gunpowder yet, because I don't think I'm allowed in the gunpowder room.
I see. I understand now. So you were mostly just trying to make a casing for your bomb.
Yeah.
Great.
It's not ready yet.
I see. Okay, so as you're kind of trying to mold these pieces, heating metal as best you can in the belly of a ship, trying to find a way to like put nails together into a wooden bomb, maybe? Is that something? No. Well, could be. And as you're going, you kind of slip and clip yourself on the finger with one of your tools, and it takes a good slice out of your forefinger. It's nothing that like you haven't handled before. I'm gonna say you take 1 point of damage.
Okay, that's acceptable. Okay.
Yeah, you don't make your bomb. Mostly because you're not allowed where the explosives are, and you can see the sun starting to like shine through the cracks of where the engine kind of sticks out into the air, so you know that day is coming quickly.
Okay.
Now that we haven't blown up our ship, let's go over to our navigator.
Okay, I'm Caleb James Miller. I'm playing William Bite Moeller, the Smuggler. And Willie, since he has been navigating us here and trying to steer the ship correctly and take his rightful role as honorary captain in the event that our captain passes away, he realizes that we're so close to land that he probably needs to get his spirits up, get as much rest as he can, because typically in Boricua, the captain is the one who does the talking, as it's her hometown, and William is not allowed to speak. So he needs to abide by that new role, and so he's snuck back into the captain's quarters where he's been sleeping while the captain is sick. No doubt, to her great displeasure. And he's stolen some of her pillows free from her bed, pushed 2 tables together basically in front of the door, used some of the maps he's been using for navigation and those stolen pillows to create sort of a makeshift bed. And unfortunately, William's body is something like a marionette, where only certain portions of him are ever active at one time, almost like a spaceship diverting power from shields to engine to keep the damn thing going. And so this very fitful twitching has taken on as William is fighting night terrors in his sleep. He's not a particularly beautiful man, but he's beautiful to me. He is tall and gangly and weird. He has these sunken, gaunt features that are angular. This big, bushy beard that is full black with just a few gray hairs starting to meet in the middle, but they're more ghost white than they are an indication of age. He's cut out the goatee themselves, and his skin is scarred and peeled back. There's at least 3 different diseases roiling through his blood, but undoubtedly one of them is syphilis, which is probably killing him. His veins are raised and distended and sometimes a little too blue for comfort, and his skin is this translucent, papery thin, where you feel like if you held Bite a little too close, you might just go straight through to the muscle tissue. His hair is long, shoulder length. He tries to keep it up in a ponytail, but the ties he uses doesn't really work very well against his greasy, almost always wet form. And he has this nice little widow's peak that feeds back into the beard. He keeps a hat on him sometimes, this big classic pirate's captain. He's impersonating his old life. This big coat that he keeps up over himself to hide all of the smuggled objects underneath, and an epaulette that is made of pieces of cloth that he's stolen from each of the pirate captains he's killed himself. And that's Bite. He's just waiting for morning when he becomes very important.
Bite, you are thrashing in your sleep. Go ahead and make me a resolve roll. So your current resolve, roll a d20, and you want to roll under that.
Okay, d20 under our resolve. I succeed, thankfully, 7 under 11.
Nightmares plague you as the evening wanes into morning, but you are no stranger to them, and your body knows how to rest when it's given the opportunity, and you don't feel any ill effects. As the morning comes, finally we'll drift over to our acting captain / first mate, Eli. Why don't you describe your character for us? What they're doing this morning.
Yeah, hi, I'm Eli, and I'm playing Paika, the Storm Brewer. Paika doesn't look like much. They're kind of stitched together with a bunch of like attire, clothing, materials, items that they've kind of just got along the way from all over the Isles. They have this like long-ish brim hat that is kind of hiding most of their hair, which seems to be like a pitch white, despite Paika being within their early 30s. And yeah, they have just like this general chill demeanor as they kind of just do their normal tasks as the mornings, they went to their little quarters that they have to sleep. But the next morning they're up early, take a moment to greet the sky and the wind before they just start going through their normal task of checking in with people, making sure that supplies are ready, or like, situating who's going to be coming with who might be coming with us once we dock, if we dock, that kind of situation, and slowly making sure that everybody's up and ready to go for the day.
Yeah, you make your rounds past a bleeding Lomo, past where Colton is kind of pacing between the cannons, past where Bite is snoring in the captain's quarters, and on the bow of the ship you see the front half of a stretcher, essentially, kind of makeshift, propped on the railing of the ship, with Edwin, one of your older deckhands, holding up the back, and sitting on it, kind of being supported by Reyna, another one of your deckhands, is the captain. Reyna is a bit bigger than her, kind of dark skin, deep red hair up in like Bantu knots. Edwin, kind of an older guy, one gray eye, the other is just like an empty socket. Kind of Southeast Asian in descent. He's always very like smiley and giggly and in a good mood in a very confusing kind of way, but this morning he's pretty somber, and you can see why. Captain Aniyamoka is resting more of her weight on Reyna than on herself. Her bandage over her wound is looking like it's distending, almost like something is pushing against it. She is stripped down out of her shirt, just kind of has like a breast band on top, pants on the bottom, no socks or shoes. the bandage, and she is shaking like she is freezing cold, even though you can see the sweat kind of glistening on her skin from a distance. She is not doing great this morning, but Reyna is kind of supporting her so she can sit up and see the island and how close you guys have come. Paika, if you wouldn't mind rolling me either a search roll or an assess roll.
I'll roll an assess.
All right.
$21.
21. Yeah, you're looking up out at the island. It's just kind of, as the sun is rising, it's just this green, luscious block of jungle. You can see a bay that's not quite a bay, but it's enough that there are a few bigger ships docked there. Your ship probably won't fit, but close to those ships you can see some structures, some buildings. You've probably been through this port with the captain in the past. This is Gabrias. And as you're kind of scanning the horizon, you can see 3 small boats starting to make their way out of the little nook of the land. And as they're coming closer, you see that they're outrigger canoes, but with kind of old motors on the back of them. So they're this really interesting like connection of like ancient technology in one way and ancient technology in a different way. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of speeding towards you. You can see that one of the canoes has 2 people in it, and the other 2 only have 1. So there's 4 folks coming out to meet your ship. They can see your flag of neutrality flying. They can see your sails down. It doesn't seem like they're coming in an aggressive manner, but they are coming, and at least one of them looks armed.
Are these people of the town? Are these just town folks? Are these like actual guards? And is this like protocol for boats to be approached this way?
Yeah, you've been here before with the captain, and you know that this is kind of the general way that it is. At least when you're coming from the north, you've never really come at it from any other direction, but coming at it from like the north west. Yeah, you're coming southeast from the northwest. This is kind of the easiest spot for folks to reach, and it's Quebrillas. Oh, no, it's not Quebrillas, it's Quebradillas. There we go.
Quebradillas.
I was reading wrong. Quebradillas. And you've experienced coming through this way enough that you know that this is pretty standard. And you guys have done a lot to mitigate any potential offensive action that might have been taken had you not done what you did.
Do I have enough time to approach the captain before we do that?
Yeah, they're still probably, it's probably going to take them a good like 5 to 10 minutes to get to you guys. The swells aren't big today, but they're enough that like the canoes kind of have to like turn and like work their way through the swells as they come out to meet you. But yeah, you have plenty of time to go talk to the captain if you want to.
Yeah. I think Paika, as they're like assessing, they notice the captain up on top deck, but then they see in the horizon the boats approaching. I think Paika's first going to grab like a cloth and dip it in some fresh water, and then bring it over to captain. Kind of just like look at them for a second and see how bad shape they are. And then Paika's gonna, instead of like look worried, even though they are worried, they're gonna kind of approach it more with a smile. as they kind of just start to kind of like pat down the sweat from Captain's like face and stuff like that. Hopefully that will like just soothe them for a little bit, and just be like, this is a perfect time to see the sunrise in the morning. It's a very good spot.
She leans heavily, like she leans her head into your hand as you wipe at her cheeks, and you can see her lips are getting cracked, even though, you know, water has been provided, but her lips are just drying out and cracking. And it almost looks like some kind of white something is gathering at the edges of her mouth, but maybe that's just dry skin. You can't really tell. Her eyes are bloodshot and watering, but she looks up at you and blearily kind of smiles. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it never stops being amazing every time we come here. You're gonna hang on for me for a little bit longer, yeah? Just a little longer. Yeah.
And you know that is her aunt. She's the cacique of the part of Quebradillas that you guys are coming into, which is one of the reasons you always come in this way. And she's just, I think, she recognizes location in the sense of home and knowing who's here, and she recognizes kind sensation, but past that, she's not super here.
What was the aunt's name again? I'm sorry?
Moya.
Moya.
Yeah.
Okay. When I recognize that she's kind of just not here, but, you know, up, I'll probably look to the two deckhands and tell them that it's probably best to not have them see state of captain on the get-go. So maybe we should put Captain back to rest down at the thing. And if you do go down there, be sure to bring the Navigator up and any other available hands, because they are going to board us in a moment.
You see Raina nods and starts kind of like laying the captain back. She takes the front end of the stretcher, Edwin still on the back, and they start kind of jostling past you. The captain kind of makes a little mule of displeasure as she's kind of like taken away from the view of the island. And they make their way down to the captain's quarters. Bite, you are quickly, not rudely, but pointedly awakened by Raina as they carry Captain Anayamoka down into the captain's quarters. So Paika needs you upstairs because you're the navigator and people are coming to board us. And
what did I tell you about calling me that?
Your title?
No, the other word. Call me the other thing.
What? What do you want me to call you?
Captain.
You're...
Just say it out loud, just once for me.
No.
You look so pretty in the morning.
Ew.
Are we boarded? Are we dead? How are things?
She's kind of leaves Captain Anayamoka to Edwin. No, we're not boarded. We're about to be boarded. We're not dead. We're going somewhere that's friendly to us for the most part.
So my plan is working then.
Yeah,
Good.
Sure, Bite. Your plan's working. You're doing great.
Oh, see? Thank you. That's all I needed. Good. I'll meet them all up deck. Make sure that everyone is orchestrated up there. Let's get some nice lines going or something. Do we all know formations or something?
I don't know. You'll have to ask them.
Okay. Well, thank you for your work as first mate. It truly has gone very much appreciated. And I think he's going to flounce his way up to the top.
Raina just shakes her head, and you make your way up to the top. Colton, Lomo, are you guys joining the other two up on the deck of the ship?
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
It's about that time. Does anyone else have anything they want to do before?
I do think Bike goes up to Colton and goes, "Do you know formations? Is there something? You seem like a very rigid folk. I could tell just from the start that you came onto the ship. You must know some sort of stance we could give out that might convey some sense of power and understanding and greeting. Is there a greeting formation?"
Nah, man. Hell no. I don't know anything like that.
Shit. Well.
Yeah.
Why did the captain bring you on again?
I don't fucking know. I guess I just talk real nice.
You weren't you talk real nice.
I guess.
So you have a talking formation. Maybe we should get you up front then. Maybe that's the play. I think you and I are the best representatives to speak with Bariqua.
Okay.
We've been here before. We don't need a formation.
Yeah, I don't think a form. Yeah.
If we've had one, I think it's just whatever we've done before, right?
I just don't want you to be hung up with the old administration. We're in a new point of view. We can try new things.
I've seen some of those company muckety-mucks kind of stand with like their hands behind their backs and shit like that. So
that's good. That's good. And I think he tries to replicate that and can really only get one hand back there with this poor flexibility of motion.
Yeah,
okay,
stands very officially like that.
You're hiding it looks like you're hiding something very big behind you. I don't know if that's...
I am hiding something. I'm strapped to the gills with weapons. If anything goes wrong, I'm going to kill all of them.
Okay.
Let's pump the brakes. All right. Let's just go see what they want first. How's that?
I think that's a good idea. And he goes and he stands directly next to Paika. Good morning, first mate.
I try to look behind their back. Good morning.
I think he does a full 180 rotation as if to not reveal anything. Do I look very talkative? Conversational even?
I mean, you look like you have a conversation to have.
Ah, yes. Colton's been teaching me his ways.
Well, has he? I look over to Colton.
Don't blame that shit on me, man. God.
You are a talkative one.
Bite starts pointing at his formation oh, look, I'm doing it.
Again, don't point to behind you. It's so... Okay.
Right as he starts pointing behind him.
No!
He makes that motion. A hook of a ladder is looped over the railing of your ship.
Oh.
And you hear from down below, permission to board the Stinkin Jacob.
Permission granted.
Permission granted.
Thank you. And you see the occupants of the first canoe are climb their way up. They're like a medium height person, kind of dark black hair that's only on the top and shaved around the sides. Probably mid-30s, Paika probably your age. They've got a duster over top of a bare chest, and some basically old swimming trunks. I couldn't think of a good way to describe them other than swimming trunks, but old. And they kind of stand at attention and they're looking around your ship. You don't know them by name, but you've definitely seen them around Cape Radias. And they're kind of looking around for the captain. I was under the understanding that this was Captain Aniyamoka's ship.
She is. It is her ship. But I am the first mate, and I'm handling transactions today.
Is the captain unavailable?
She's a bit under the weather, so would rather just stay put for the time being.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Zakiya was really looking forward to seeing her. Well, I suppose we can take you ashore. Let's see, and they're kind of doing math Are your other... You had other folks on the ship last time you were here. Are they joining us?
The deckhands?
Yes.
Yeah. They're just below deck. There's nothing. Yeah.
Will they be joining us on... I guess, why are you here, honestly? Usually there's some kind of... The captain usually sends word or says something when she's coming home.
You're asking a lot of questions without a single welcome. I think we should shake hands as partners before we go any further with answering.
Roll me persuade. Roll me persuade.
Not one foot has touched the island before we...
Oh my god.
So I have mastery in this. So
Oh,
here's,
God.
all right.
Do you really?
Bless.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
22.
Oh,
Bless.
yeah. You say that, and
I've been waiting for my Bariqua welcome since we've got here, and let's just say I'm not very impressed.
the guard kind of shakes their head and runs their fingers through the hair. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's early in the morning to have visitors, I suppose. Welcome back. I should say welcome home. And they're still looking around for the captain, like they're a little uncomfortable doing this without the captain. Welcome back. Welcome home, Captain. They kind of call out to the ship at large, wherever she may be, hoping that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well,
Roll me.
Welcome home to us all.
To roll deceive?
Roll some deceiving, yeah. Sure.
I'm gonna be so good at that. That's a 12.
They kind of look around for a second, like you got him, but then they see your hand coming down from your mouth, and This is very suspicious, if I'm being completely honest, and I'm not
all right, look.
comfortable with bringing you to the island without any kind of knowledge of what's happening, especially with how strangely you all are acting. And
The captain got stabbed and-
consolation. None of us are comfortable either.
It's not, but thank you.
Look, the captain got stabbed and she ain't doing real well.
What? Bring her out. Let me see her.
All right. Can we go with the deckhands? Tell them to bring her up.
Yeah, Norma's been kind of like hanging around in the background, and you send her off, and a couple minutes later, they bring the captain up.
And in fluent Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell them what happened.
Great. Yeah, you pull out some damn fine Spanish. They look a little taken aback, and like they're like mentally switching gears. And they listen and they nod. And they kind of, when you get to the part about the poisoning, they're kind of, you can tell they're trying to make plans on how they're going to tell the cacique, because this is her niece, you know, she's going to feel a way about it. You explain everything, and the captain is brought up. She seems to have fallen into a kind of fitful sleep. And the guard kind of drops to their knees and just starts like looking at her and looking at her arms and checking her arms, and then they see the movement in the bandages, and their face goes ashen. We need to get her to land immediately. Two of you can join my ship. One of you can join the others. And they're kind of like trying to like mentally Tetris everyone into ships. Please, let's get off your ship so we can get to land quickly.
Okay. You got it. Yeah. Hop on.
Yeah. You guys pile off the ship kind of uncomfortably. And it comes to the point that one of you just kind of has to, like, two of you kind of have to cradle the captain. Mm-hmm. In the hull of the ship, in the hull of the canoes. The other three guards are very helpful and like try to help, you know, position everyone so that nothing's going to fall over. And then the roar of the little powerboat engine comes back to life, and you feel the salt spray of the sea as you kind of skip back towards land. Golden sand, green trees growing out of every possible piece of land. There's something of a ruin in the trees, and Bite, you would actually know that this is I have to find the words. Puerto Hermina, which was an old pirate smuggling area. It was first like Spanish first, and then smugglers used it. And you've heard tell that people still use Puerto Hermina for questionable trade. It's overgrown, kind of covered in trees and leaves that have eaten it over time, but it's close enough to the beach that it's not entirely covered.
Got it.
You all continue on your boat ride into town, and as you get closer, you can see one of the docks, for lack of a better word, is kind of packed with a crowd. Not a big one, but there are enough people up and about town that know your ship, and having heard the cacique's niece is coming back home, they've gotten up and they're coming to greet you. You can see at the very front, you see Cacique Moya. She's got like light brown skin, hair bobbed short around her chin. She's got a beauty mark next to one of her eyebrows that makes one look longer than the other. She's in her kind of mid-50s, strong, still like very like straight and tall. Doesn't look like she's really aging the way one might expect. And next to her, you see her daughter, Zara, who is a teenager. She's got like messy curly brown hair, green eyes, and she's trailed by a dog. Technically, it's a little bit. It's a dog plus. It's got gray fur. It stands about hip height, and it's got 2 extra legs that don't quite reach the ground and look more like hands than anything, that kind of just like grasp at the air as it walks, and a prehensile tail that's currently wrapped around what looks like a ball of like a wooden ball. But you guys eventually dock, and the cacique comes forward with her arms spread. She goes, "Welcome home! My goodness, it's good to see you all. Where's my niece? Where is she?" And she's looking around. Do you guys say anything? Do you present the cat? Like, what's the move here?
I'm gonna defer to Paika on this one.
It's so good to see you, my beloved. And I think he wanders up for a good hug.
She's gonna put her 2 fingers in your chest. Bite? Are we gonna have a problem like we did last time?
No, I bring tidings. I bring your niece. We brought your niece.
Yes, where is she?
We should give a precursor first. We should talk a little bit before. There's something wrong, but we can fix it. And he looks back at the others like, pretty good, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna take my hat off and approach the casita with some type of respect. And Paika will explain the situation, as I assume the captain is being brought off the boat and brought
the
to
2
her.
guards that were on the ship, or on the canoe with her, are kind of very gingerly picking her up off of the or they're putting her back on the stretcher and carrying her over.
The winds have been good for us, and we've come here as fast as we can to try to find a way to make her better.
You feel Cacique Moya's fingers tighten on your forearm where you guys had clasped in greeting. And she lets go and falls to her knees next to her niece. And like Anayamoka can sense her approach, her eyes kind of flutter open, and she smiles like a child. And she says, Bibi, upiadaka. And the woman's face drains of color. She leans down and she says, what did you say? And the captain repeats it, Bibi, upiadaka. And her teenage daughter, who's kind of trailed her this entire time, starts to get a little jittery and upset. And she goes, Mama, what is she saying? Mama, why is she saying that?
What
is
does
that?
it mean?
The captain doesn't, or not, I'm sorry, not the captain. The cacique doesn't stand. She kind of keeps an arm planted kind of across Anayamoka's chest, and she says, It means, Mother, I am ghosting. It means she thinks she's dying. She is dying. It's what our mother said to us when she passed. Okay, and she looks lost. Show me her wounds.
There's the on the stomach, and there's something around the mouth, but whatever it is, it's growing.
Yeah, she gingerly kind of pulls off the wrapping, and you guys haven't necessarily been the ones tending to her every day, so it's probably been a day or two since you've seen it. The good news is there's no more wound bleeding. The bad news is there are roots and tendrils of just whitish grayish things kind of not bubbling but like pushing against the surface, like they've grown inside out, almost like a cordyceps, and they're pushing against the edges of the skin and are starting to reach out with tendrils not just beneath the skin but above it. And she kind of reels back for a second and then curses. Okay. And she calls up healers, and they're all kind of gathered in a group of probably like 3 of them, all discussing really quickly back and forth, like who's going to do what and who's going to take where. Zara is kind of in the middle of that, as she looks like she's kind of apprenticing with one of the older women that's in that grouping. And Cacique Moya kind of turns to all the rest of you and says, I thank you for bringing her home. Do you know... I know that there are legends of...
A treasure.
Yes.
We're gonna find it.
Yep.
We will.
Oh, I truly thought it was going to take a lot of convincing and cajoling and maybe even threatening to get you to...
Why?
Hell no, she's our captain.
Yeah, she's our captain. Exactly.
She's very important.
We've done dumber stuff for cheaper.
This is very true.
And no one deserves to die as a host to something else.
We haven't experienced kindness much, but this is... Thank you. And she looks kind of like she's trying to like maintain her like leader position and not let emotion overwhelm her, but is obviously very emotional. And she kind of claps you on the shoulder, Colton. I have maps. It's not hard to find in the sense of where it's supposed to be, as we understand it. Protections are less clear, and people who have gone haven't returned, or if they have, they've been a bit wrong.
What do you mean by wrong, if I can ask?
Like him wrong? And Lomo points to Bite. Or like,
I would hate to come back wrong.
Not quite. I mean, the infection is probably a good indicator, but it's not like themselves, not responding to their own names. Sometimes they recover, sometimes they don't. Some are bloodied and bruised and return simply injured. Others are broken. I don't know what to tell you. Yes, I haven't been there personally, mostly because I've never had need of it before. But clearly now there is a need.
Well, I don't want to speak for everybody else, but I mean, I think we'll take whatever supplies, guides, maps, information you can provide, and we'll get moving. I don't think we have a lot of time to spare.
Nor do I. Thank you. All right, well, it should... So she gives you kind of a rundown. The treasure is deep in the jungle, hidden in the center of 3 pillars. There are 3 pillars kind of jutting up out of the jungle itself, and at their center is a circle of new growth that is constantly new. It never ages, it never changes, no matter the weather, no matter the temperature. It is always new growth. She gives you instructions both through the jungle paths that have been carved and via the ancient roads. The roads are going to take a little bit longer, but they will be safer. If you grow as the crow flies, you'll probably cut a good 45 minutes to an hour off of your trek, but there are significant dangers. So she's kind of leaving it up to you. She draws you a map, and she also offers a couple of guides, should you want them.
What do you think, First Mate, and Captain?
I'd say we take anything we can possibly get our hands on, and a guide into the jungle would be far more better than us figuring it out on our own. Not that we don't have a good navigator at our helm. But
the best navigator a crew could ask for.
But I've
already found it.
You've already found.
I'm lying. I felt threatened, if I'm being honest.
Don't be threatened. It's just locals I trust to have much more finer details, you know.
Yeah, you guys are loaded up with any weapons you might feel like you need. You've got a guide who has a machete. The captain, you watch as she's kind of carried off into a home that is it's the cacique's home, with her niece kind of trailing along behind, kind of throwing looks back at you guys because she hasn't seen you in a while. She was probably a child the last time you saw her, and she's grown a bit. She's kind of craning her neck to look back at you, but more concerned with practical knowledge of how to help heal her aunt. And you all set off into the jungle, unless there's anything else you want to talk to the cacique about.
I don't, but I do want to talk to the spy very quickly.
Yeah.
So I know what we've agreed on, which is no gunpowder, right? But special situation, I have something that could blow up, and that could be helpful down the line. How do you feel about sort of exploring me have a little bit of gunpowder, just like...
When you say could blow up, will blow up away from us, will blow up on us. Context, right?
So what my dream is that I'll put the gunpowder in this,
okay,
and I'll have a few seconds before it goes off.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Great, good. Then I'm gonna fill that like broken vessel with gunpowder and take it with us.
Yeah, you kind of shove some gunpowder into it. There are cracks. It's definitely leaking into your stuff, and maybe you don't want to get near something flammable for a while. But it looks like it might hold a little bit of gunpowder. Sure.
Good.
So the four of you and your guide set out. Your guide is a pretty young-looking person. They've got their kind of light brown hair braided down their back, just covered in freckles. They're not wearing a coat, but they've got like what's that? Hey Zach, what's that really thin fabric that's like light and airy and not like it's a little see-through? It's not mesh.
No.
But it's
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I was thinking linen. But I know what you're saying.
Gossip.
yeah, gossamer, like kind of gossamer like shirt over like a breastband, pants, and a wide brim sun hat. Their name is Trina, and they start leading you through the forest. Probably 20 minutes into your walk, Trina turns back to you all. All right, so we're getting a little deep in. I just need to know how we're moving forward. Are we trying to move carefully and quietly, or are we going like there's something to solve?
Which is safer.
I mean, quiet is always safer, but
I think
time-wise,
that's bullshit. I think if we care about the captain, we need to move as fast as humanly possible, possibly faster. I think we should move until our knees break.
not to disagree with Mr. Bite, but I will say if you die, there's no one to save the captain.
Trina is going directly against me.
I'm not going directly against you. I'm simply pointing out a fact. Also, I
Where
don't think
even are your maps? I haven't seen a single map from you all day.
my map lives here.
Oh, you're so special because you have brain power.
What? I've just lived here my whole life, and I know how to track things and walk through
She's
the
going
jungle.
to kill the captain.
What's your problem?
She's going to kill the captain. We need to go.
We should try to move quietly for at least a bit, and once we assess maybe a little less danger, maybe we'll pick up the pace. How about that?
I think it's a great plan.
Fantastic. All right, then everyone follow my lead. And she kind of starts darting from tree to tree, pushing through leaf cover. It is humid as fuck in the jungle. It's warm. The shade helps a little bit, but you are sticky with sweat in a matter of minutes. There's kind of bugs flying around. And you can see the reason for the gossamer shirt now is just stopping. It's like a human mosquito net at this point. She's moving with relative ease. Everyone go ahead and roll me a sneak check.
Okay. 17.
Okay.
Have a 16.
16?
I have a 16 as well.
Could one argue using their lore nature instead of sneak to potentially mitigate the -1 of the sneak ability?
Yeah. I'll say you can use your lore nature instead. You've trounced around several different juggles, I'm sure, and you're following pretty closely behind. Yeah, go ahead.
A 9.
A 9. Well, we really just needed most of you to pass, which most of you did. So,
Thanks, team.
so you guys make your way through the jungle. As the morning sun rises, the heat rises, the humidity rises. It's not impossible to handle, but it's a little gross. You all make your way through the jungle. Roll me, everyone. Roll me and assess or search. You've been walking probably now for, it's probably pushing 3 hours. You're maybe halfway there from what's been said and how Trina's been walking. And you've passed a few kind of creatures of the jungle, iguanas that are maybe a little too big. Some parrots. There's what sounds like a rhesus monkey kind of in the distance, but it's not visible, so who knows what the fuck it is. What did everyone get on assess or search? Shit.
6.
I got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Ooh.
I got a 7.
7.
I got a 10.
A 10. Bite, where within the group are you?
I think that he's like on the heels of this guide, Trina, trying to stay very close to her because he feels very threatened. And so he's trying to like see everything before she can see everything. And so he's in this like big battle to try and be the most perceptive. But in that, he's also giving these big like heaving breaths, and his body is almost like at a 45 vertical angle trying to like keep himself up. And he's heaving and sweating and just breathing like a pug. But he's up there with Trina.
You are right on Trina's heels, and you don't notice it, but maybe the rest of the party does. Her shoulders kind of tense every time Bite takes a snorting breath in, and you see it before she does. There are tracks kind of pressed into the mud. Sizable. Kind of cloven, not quite hooves, but close. And what looks like something dragging behind it.
I think he like stops so suddenly that he almost tumbles over himself and then trips up and has to like grab a rock at the side.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the other's hand, he almost completely puts his weight onto Trina's shoulder. He goes, oh shit.
Oh.
There are tracks or something.
Oh, yes, you are correct. Yes, there are. Very, very well found, Mr. Bite. Okay. And you see her kind of like, after you've shown her them, she's like tracking all of the ones that have come around. And as you're looking too, it looks like a pack, like a herd has recently run through here. Running kind of catty corner to you off to the west, I think. Yeah,
if I had to say, I think these were animals.
You would be correct. These are, well, they're boars, but they're a little bit more than boars.
Yes, boars, but a little bit more than boars. But I thought the same thing.
What do you think is being dragged behind them? And she's just kind of looking at you challengingly.
A body.
A body.
A kid. Yes, they're trained boars. Someone has stolen a person.
Well, I think that would be the stinger, but maybe it is a body. Who knows?
Did you say the stinger?
Yes. I mentioned they were boars and a little bit more. Yeah, these boars, well, there's a little bit of an extra, and she just kind of like flops her arm forward like a scorpion stinger. It's not muscular enough to hold itself up unless it's attacking, so just watch out for that.
You all have phallic facet boars?
Borbian?
No, it's not. It's on the back. It's not on the penis side. It's on the tail side.
You made it so flaccid.
Yeah, I realize that this motion is, it's not great.
Be crisp.
Yeah. Well, they're not crisp. They drag them behind. They're flaccid tails.
They're flaccid Borbians.
Yeah. Flaccid Porpians, yeah. Okay, we'll call them Flaccid Porpians. That's fine. The point is, we need to continue to keep an eye out. So,
Are they going away from us, or like, are they heading the same direction we are?
you guys are going southeast, and these look like they're kind of veering off more true south or even southwest. So it's not like unless they're whatchamacallit, their trajectory changes, you think you might not kind of run into them.
Okay.
I need everyone to roll me a resolve check.
Oh my child.
So this is about halfway through our sweet hike through the jungle, and it is hot and gross.
We're rolling under our resolve.
Under your resolve.
Okay.
2.
I have a success.
Okay.
I got a success with a 2.
Great.
Success.
Y'all are seasoned at discomfort, especially salty discomfort, as comes from the ocean and from sweat. I'm realizing how gross all of this sounds, and it's fine.
Steaming.
It's fine.
You've been bitten by bugs. You've been harassed by flies. This is nothing new. Trina is also clearly not affected by anything going on throughout here. Everyone go ahead and make me another sneak roll as we close the last half of our trek.
That'd be a 15.
15.
A 17.
17.
5.
A 16!
Hey!
Alright.
Nuck.
Yeah, you all Lomo, where are you within the group?
I think I'm probably in the back. Apart from the trail of loose gunpowder. Again, so reflective. Just sort of traffic tape all over their person, so...
So as you've all been walking, you've heard these kind of chirps from the coqui frogs, those high-pitched little squeaks. You've heard bird calls, you've heard flies buzzing. And then, nearer than you're comfortable with, you hear coqui, coqui, coqui.
No.
And you feel the ground shake just a little bit.
No.
Okay.
This isn't,
But I know what that is.
Yes, it's not my fault, but, something, I feel like I should apologize. I don't really know why, but there's something coming and it's not great.
Yeah. Paika, roll me lore nature.
What is it?
I think I hear something.
21.
21. You hear the sounds, the gentle sounds of the tree frogs, and then you hear the and you make the connection. It is, and it hops into view about that time. It is a dog-sized coqui frog.
Nope. I know.
I did this specifically for the line.
I know what that is. Nope.
For those not in the know, coqui frogs are
The loudest frog you'll ever hear.
loud little bitches. They're pretty small though. A dog-sized coqui frog is
Concussive.
disquieting and concussive to say the least.
Lev, I thought you were saying cookie.
Oh
Yeah.
no! Here, I'll
I
drop a
heard
cookie
cookie
in the
too.
chat.
I was
Fun fact, the coal is to repel other males and the key is to attract females.
Mm-hmm. They are smaller than a penny, usually, or they can be penny-sized, or quarter-sized. They are coin-sized. They are small frogs.
What are you feeding them out here in this forest? What are you eating there, buddy?
Big bugs.
Throw throw in.
It hops onto the trail, and you feel the ground kind of shift underneath you, and its throat kind of distends, and it's painfully loud. Everyone, once again, I need a resolve check.
That'll go super well. Here it goes. Oh, it did. Just kidding.
Save.
Okay.
Fail.
Bite, you said you saved?
Yeah.
Great. Lomo, you're the closest to this, and as the throat extends and you hear the it just kind of echoes in your ears, and is painfully loud to the point that as the kind of dissipates, it's still ringing in your ears, and you are going to be deafened for the next I have to do math again, sorry, 15 minutes. You will, so that means you're gonna have
there's something.
you fail skill rolls that require hearing for the next 15 minutes.
Okay.
You all look around, and Trina, your guard, is actually smiling. Oh, okay.
The fuck, Trina?
No, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. This is a good sign. These are protectors of the land. This is a sign. This is a sign from the gods. This is a sign from the universe. This is a sign from whoever you want it to be from. This is good.
I'll take your word for that. If you say it's good, I'll trust you.
They're coming with us?
Are
they friendly?
You see her kind of like take a couple steps toward it, and its throat starts to extend again, about like it's about to make the noise. So she kind of backs off, and you get the feeling that there's kind of like a minimal safe distance to not get hearing damage. Basically, that's probably like 5 to 10, like within 5 to 10 feet. It's pretty fucking gnarly, but if you're a little bit further back, it's not.
If I toss a ration at it, will it like us?
You can try. You can certainly try.
I'm gonna toss a ration at it, at its feet, in a non-threatening way, in like a friendly chuck toss.
Yeah, you friendly chuck toss a ration. You kind of loft it, and before it hits the ground, it's probably like 4 inches from the ground, and a big old long tongue comes out and snaps it and pulls it back. You don't really know what kind of a joyous sound creatures make, but it sounds happy. And it kind of moves its little feet. Not little, it's dog sized. It's pretty big feet. And Trina kind of nods. All right, we need to keep moving. We need to move now. And she continues to lead you all on your trek. Anything else anyone wants to do?
I'll wave goodbye to the frog. If it doesn't follow us, I'll wave goodbye.
You wave goodbye to the frog. It kind of dips its head.
I think Lomo is aggressively trying to read people's lips through all of that and does not know why we are walking again. But it's just like, okay, that was cute. Like, that's it.
The frog kind of croaks one last time, and you don't hear it necessarily, but you kind of feel the vibrations through your back. As you all make your way through the jungle, things get a little less clustered as you move forward. And through a gap in the trees, Trina kind of stops and kneels down and looks up. Anyone who wants to can do another search or assess.
I have a 19.
19?
17.
17.
18.
18.
12.
12. Paika, you're still thinking about that cool frog. Your frog friend, who you may or may not see again on the way out. Lomo, Bite, and Colton. As you see this break in the trees, a shadow that you hadn't noticed before has kind of taken space through that opening in the trees, and where everything else has been very like curved lines and natural, this is very straight and harsh, kind of sticking up into the sky. And Trina kind of kneels down, and as the rest of you kneel, she points up, and there is a tower kind of standing in the middle of the jungle, metal, wrapping, vines and leaves kind of wrapping up it, hanging down off of it look like broken cables from some long past time. The cables are also kind of slowly being overgrown and look like they're like reaching down towards the jungle floor. And Trina points up and she goes, "All right, we're here."
This is the treasure?
Well, it's not the treasure. It's the pillar. The pillar kind of signals that we are here. It's... Look, I've never been here specifically. I've been here in the sense of I've gotten to the point that I've seen the pillars. But I don't go into them. I don't go to the center. I don't go to the new growth. Call it a religious preference.
Fair.
Totally fair.
The four of you are welcome to continue forward. I'll wait here for you. Good luck.
Anything we should know about, though? I mean, I know you don't go forward, but is there something we should be wary of as we go forward?
Spirits, creatures, booby traps, probably. Although, from what I've heard, that's maybe a myth. This used to be a place of science. I think in the old days it was called Arecibo. We spoke to the stars. But there was some kind of disaster and it destroyed itself. I don't really... One day I'll go in, maybe. Maybe. She looks kind of entranced by it, like it's a religious place that she doesn't feel like ready or worthy to go in yet. Almost like it's a kind of like a Mecca or a holy site almost.
Totally.
And she hasn't kind of taken her eyes off of the pillar, but she over her shoulder kind of says, follow to the very center of the new growth, and supposedly that's where you'll find it. Good luck.
Thank you for bringing us this far.
Of course. Don't die.
Yeah. Lomo's gonna come forward and take their hand, like the way that like a grandparent slides a 20 in her hand, but slides just some loose powder. And that's for you. Just in case. Because we ran into those frogs and they were super loud. At the very least, it's sand that won't feel good.
Thank you. I will say that frog was a good... I forgot you couldn't hear during that. That frog was a very good sign, actually. They're protectors of the land. Like, that's great, honestly.
Okay.
So, I appreciate this. I'm gonna wipe it off immediately, though. I hope you know. I'm not crazy about walking around with black powder on my hand, but I appreciate the sentiment. Very good.
Really is too bad about your religion. You should try not having standards. You can go more places.
I appreciate the, thank you, I suppose.
I'll come back. I'll tell you all about it from one navigator to another, as I will know something that you don't know anything about.
Yes, you will.
Good.
Gods protect you. And you all, I'm assuming, start making your way into
Into the woods.
Yeah. So you follow through the woods. Now that you kind of have a handle on where that one pillar is, you can kind of start pivoting around it towards where Trina motioned where the other two pillars were. And as you move through the undergrowth, it starts to diminish. It starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it's really just saplings and grass. And there's like a ceiba tree that's only just starting to kind of twist at the roots. It looks like the new growth you were supposed to find. Everyone go ahead and make me another search or assess roll. And then I'm also going to need to know what everyone's vigilance goal is. Just quickly out of curiosity.
So I rolled a 3.
Cool.
My vigilance score is a 14.
Okay.
I rolled a 15 and my vigilance score is a 13.
Okay.
I rolled an 8, and my Vig is an 11.
Okay.
I rolled a 5, and my vigilance score is a 12.
Okay. So, I think Paika and Bite, you both are, I'm assuming, leading the way into this as the acting captain and the person who thinks he should be the acting captain. And you both kind of catch sight of the two distant pillars. One, or they all kind of stand on a hill. One looks like it's still kind of attached to something that's going down to the ground. The other very much looks like the first one that you saw, with the tendrils of vine and leaves hanging down. And you kind of reach what you assume to be the center. There's the new growth on the ground, and underneath the new growth you can see these what look like maybe glass, maybe metal, some kind of like shiny plates, and they're good size. They're probably, I don't know, 10 to 15 feet long by maybe 4 or 5 feet wide, each of them. And you can see that they're laid out in the circle, and that as specifically Paika and Bite look out, the circle of new growth is directly on top of these plates or whatever they are. I need a resolve roll from Colton, please.
That is an 11 under 12.
An 11 under 12. Incredible. As you're looking around this kind of open area, tendrils of cold start sinking into your back, and you feel them kind of settle, not quite around your heart, but too close for comfort. And as it feels like it's going to kind of take over your chest, you pull away. You take one point of duress, which is going out of your resolve. So your resolve goes down by 1. But you whip around. Nothing there. You don't see
Oh
anything.
boy. Oh, I think we got company. Oh, that was fucked up. Something cold just, I don't know, like, wrapped
Cold
and that was
where?
it was ice cold, like inside me.
Is there anything around us?
Yeah, you can go ahead and you can make a search roll if you want to.
$19.
19. You're looking. You see some of the grass blowing a little differently than the rest. And there's like a shimmer in the air. But nothing else.
You said the air is shimmering, though?
Just a little bit. Just like if you were looking at it from a different angle, you wouldn't see it.
But it's all like congregated in one space.
Mm-hmm. It looks like, I don't know, probably 5 feet away, 6-ish feet off the ground.
Could I walk towards it and kind of dust my hand inside of it? Just kind of do that, like shoo it away, or like see if it disperses.
Roll me a resolve check.
Shoo, ghosts.
What happens if your resolve is 14 and you rolled a 14?
I'm gonna say beats it. You're gonna take 1 point of resolve duress, so 1 off of your resolve. You feel as you reach in those same cold, like sliding feeling that that Colton felt, kind of going up your arm, and it feels like it almost tries to like get a grip on your forearm, and then it slides away as you pull back. Lomo, roll me a resolve check.
Oh shit.
Oh, sorry. Me?
Yes.
This is gonna be good.
Touched by the cold.
Have to roll under the resolve. That's a 5. That's
5.
Good.
You don't feel it close to your heart. You feel it kind of sinking into like your temple, chilling your brain a little bit. You take 2 points of duress, so off of your resolve, as they kind of sink in and almost feel like they like dig from your temple to your jaw, and you jerk your head away, and the cold feeling kind of slides away.
I think Lomo just takes out the cutlass and just starts turning around, and it's just like, we're just here for something. We're going to be out of your hair, or whatever ghosts have on top of them.
What's everyone's intuition?
14.
14 as well. Yep.
14?
13.
13?
12.
12. Okay. Bite and Colton, I need you both to roll me intuition checks.
Sure thing.
Rolling under the number?
Add your modifier
Okay.
for intuition for this one.
14.
17.
17. Colton, you know something's there. You can kind of feel another something closing in on your side as well. And Bite, you feel it too. But Bite, you get a little bit more of a read on it. You exist in a kind of nebulous space as a person. And as you kind of almost slide out of focus a little bit, you feel the cool tendrils take your arms. And it's not actually aggressive. It's almost like whatever it is trying to get a read on you, like it's trying to understand who you all are.
I think that Bite, being the marionette he already is, does kind of concede immediately to that touch. And then kind of getting the sense that this is an okay thing to do and already being pretty reckless, will almost let himself fall into that grasp just to see what comes next.
Amazing. So you lean into it and you feel the cold sweep through your veins and into your body. And in your head, a voice that isn't yours says, "Hello, hello, hello."
Hello.
What?
Who are you
There's-
talking to?
Voices in my head more than usual.
And you hear the voice kind of come again. You've come here. You've come here. You've come here. You've come here for what?
You've
We
come
know.
here for what?
We know what it is, but if you lie, there will be dire consequences. Consequences.
They know what we're here for, but if we lie, they'll kill us, I think. Was the brass tacks.
The cure, the antidote.
We're here to help a friend. That's it.
The treasure?
The traitor. You hear like a voice in your head bite, like some long forgotten pirate, maybe? Someone you might have known in another life, in another reincarnation, eons ago, it feels like. Or maybe it was last year. Who knows? Because, let's be real, you don't know what time is.
So true.
Oh,
I don't like him.
why not?
The voice mostly.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Is this better? Is this better?
Oh,
It's been a while. Is this better?
Yes, that's much clearer. Why didn't you start with that?
Well, I haven't talked to anyone in a very long time. Usually I'm further off, but I thought, hey, this sounds fun. How's it going?
Oh, it's going very well. I'm here with my crew. I'm Captain William Bite Muller. It's a pleasure to meet you. You seem like a sort of seafaring type.
Of course. Roberto, pleasure to meet you.
Oh, what a name. Good to meet you.
Now, I hear you're here for my treasure. What's this about?
Oh, yeah, you don't need to be so casual about it. We're just going to steal from you.
See, here we find the rub, my good man. From the outside, none of you can hear this. All you can see is Bite just standing stock still, sometimes giggling, sometimes answering out loud. To the outside, this might look like he's communicating with something, or it might look like an emotional break. Who's to say?
Regular Bite is regular Bite is the problem. But he did just say that we're here to steal, right? We all heard that?
Yes, so this gentleman inside of my head, he's very charming. He's got this voice
thank
about
you,
him,
dear.
a much better bravado than you think. At first, I wasn't with it, but now I totally get it. He asked us, of course, what we're here for and not to lie and everything. So I told him the God's honest, which is we've come here to take what is his. I haven't got to the details on the captain yet, but I thought, it's all.
Wait, you're here to steal for your captain? Why isn't your captain here? That's a lazy thing to do. Send your crew out into the jungle. I hid this well for a reason, goddammit.
So they think the captain is lazy. They're sort of coming down on her. I
We
kind of get
don't
where he's coming
Tell
from.
them. Will you tell them about
Can they hear
injury?
us?
Oh, yes, tell
let
them
me
I can
ask. Oh,
hear them just fine.
they can hear you all just fine.
Our captain got stabbed. Her wound has got all sorts of white the tentacles.
Tendrils.
That one coming out of it. She's fucked up. And I don't care about no goddamn treasure. I just need to get the antidote that somebody said the treasure had so we can fix her and get her back up and running.
Well, I mean, I did maybe find a little cure of some kind off of the coast.
Oh, you devil.
Oh, I know.
I really enjoy this man.
Oh, thank you. I enjoy you too. You're a little bit disgusting, but in kind of a sexy way.
Thank you. That was sort of what I've been going for. I don't
Oh.
think these ones get it.
No, it's something about the life on the sea.
So it is as the mulleted man said. We're here for the treasure, which just so happens to be the cure for our captain.
I respect that so deeply. A crew who loves their captain enough to go to the mystical, magical place of treasure. It's really the stuff of legends. I do have a little bit of a problem with it, though, because, you see, mortal creatures are easily corrupted, driven by greed or hate or impatience. I have lots of treasure. That's kind of the whole thing. And what was even better was for, 100 years or so that was just covered by this science thing, and no one came looking for it because they were like, they're talking to the stars. There can't be anything there, but they were wrong.
I'm going to transfer all of that to the group.
So basically, what it dials it down to is, I'm fine with you taking my treasure, but really, I'm only fine with you taking what you need from my treasure, because, let's face it, there's a lot of need all across the world, and if I let you take all of it and then someone else needs it when they come back, it's unsporting.
So all we have to do is prove that we need what we're taking.
No, I know that you need it. You've already proven that. The way to get it is a little icky by some standards. By my standards, I think it's fine. But if you and your crew wish to find what you seek, you must temporarily give yourselves to the spirits and let them guide you in and out.
No.
Through traps and temptations and blinded. Just so you know that we know that you don't know what there is, so that maybe if you try and come back, you'll get killed by the traps, and then you'll be eternally damned to help us with keeping the treasure safe. It's not really a damnation. Some people pick to move on, and that's fine. Other people are like, ooh, this is fun. I get to possess people sometimes. So really, it's up to you. You can go in possessed and get what you need, or you can go in not possessed, probably get killed by booby traps, and also have to fight a spirit trying to take over your body. It's your choice, really. I'm not trying to yuck your yum or anything like that, but if you want the thing you need, you do kind of have to surrender a little bit.
I transfer all that to the party.
No question.
Okay.
Come for
Do
a
we
ride,
get to
baby.
choose our ghosts?
Well, the thing is, I don't think any of you can see us. You just got lucky with the captain.
Yes, I did.
But everyone else, well, they'll take who they can get.
I'm buckled up. Take me for a ride, I guess.
All
The
right.
first time. Let's go.
I guess.
Friends! And out of Bite's mouth comes a voice that is not Bite's. You see Bite's eyes kind of glaze over white and then change. What color are Bite's eyes normally, actually?
They're usually like a sickly green.
Yeah, they go from that, like, sickly green, and after, like, they cloud over white and uncloud again, they are just like a deep, like, mahogany brown almost. Friends! We have agreement. Let's do this. And all of you, I would say that this is a resolve roll, but you can fail it intentionally to let the spirits join you.
I will do
Yes.
so.
I will fail
Yeah.
to allow the spirits.
Yeah, I failed anyway.
Into Colton's body, you feel like a quiet presence kind of envelop the back of your mind, not like a shadow, but like a shawl almost. And you feel the voice of an older woman speaking to you in Spanish because she knows that you speak Spanish. And she tells you about how the treasure changed her life and how it, like, saved her family from poverty, and how she got it from the captain directly when he was still alive. And she just sounds so, like, comforted and calmed by it, and the sense kind of washes through you. Lomo, into your mind comes a frenetic, childlike energy. They are, instead of wrapping around you, they are bouncing off of your skull in a very excitable way. Probably, I don't know, like an 8 years old kind of an age range. Just, and like you can kind of, as you guys kind of meld with these spirits, you can kind of get like a vibe for what they were going and what was going on in their life when it ended. It was just like an unfortunate illness that got him, and he had a great life beforehand, and he's kind of just happy to be kind of physically able to like do things again. And Paika, you're the last one who gets joined by a spirit, but you see Colton kind of like curling up a little bit and physically taking on a more like feminine posture, whatever that might mean. Lomo starts kind of like skipping around and around in this new growth and like picking up flowers and spinning and just like turns childlike. And then a still calm presence kind of creeps into the back of your mind and sits heavy kind of at the center of your skull. No real words. Just a very, like, the presence of a leader who has seen their people through a number of things and knows how to move forward. It's more calm than you felt since the captain was stabbed and you've been in charge of everything. And as all of your eyes cloud over, you are kind of pushed to the back of your own mind as these spirits take over and you feel your body moving. It's a very distant feeling. You feel ducking, you feel pushing back, you feel climbing, you feel crawling down. You don't feel the sensations of whatever it is you're touching. You just kind of feel the movements. And time goes by, not really meaning much of anything. But eventually you reach the center of whatever this is, and you all stop. And kind of from the outside in, you hear, "Do you want a little peek?"
I mean, I wouldn't say no.
Okay. And your eyes uncloud for just a moment. And you're in what looks like a root cellar, almost. It doesn't look fancy or special. Until you see that there are shelves carved into the walls. And there are kind of like pictographs of whatever is kept in those shelves, carved into the bars of the shelves, I guess. The shelves are deep enough and set far enough back that you can't really see the things themselves, but you can see this like expansive room that looks empty, but now that you kind of know what to look for, you know it's not. Is there anything anyone wants to do before you go back under?
I'm not fucking with these guys. I'm just gonna do what they tell me to.
Yeah, wait, what's on the shelves?
So you can't see anything on the shelves. It's like the shelves are dug into the walls, and then there are like flats of wood to give them a little bit more structure on the sides, and to tell you what's in them. So like here's the side of a shelf, and here's the shelf itself, and like etched into the wood on this part, there is like a symbol that you can kind of make out in the half light, but not super duper well. That you assume is telling you what is deeper back on those shelves.
I see. Okay, then I think I'm just gonna check in with my inner child, and see like what they want to do. If they're just good to commit to the mission, then that's fine. But also if they want to do some fuckery, like I'm here for that too.
The kid kind of hears that and lets a giggle out of your mouth. And they're kind of looking at the other three. And they're looking at like your hand. And they say, "Do you want something shiny?"
Always.
I'm going to have everyone roll me a vigilance check against Lomo's sneak. Lomo, you can add another +1 to your sneak.
Okay.
For the kid.
13.
13?
It's a 9.
9.
Oh, yeah.
That's a 12.
12.
Damn.
Right? 6.
Ha!
You and your kid make it past the captain in Bite's body. And as you're kind of crouching down toward one of these lower shelves and starting to reach your hand out, Colton, you feel your body turn you around and a hand grabbing Lomo's arm, and out of your mouth you feel the words, "Not today, Virgil." And Zakiya and Lomo, out of your mouth you hear, "Fine."
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, and the kid on the inside goes, I really tried.
It's okay, it was good.
It was really just sea glass. I mean, it's not that special, but it was pretty.
They're trying to do that thing you do when you know that, like, if you're excited, the kid will be excited again.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, no, sea glass isn't even that exciting. Like, ew.
You venture deeper into this deep room, and slowly your eyes kind of cloud over again as the sight is taken from you. They don't want to share everything that's there, but knowing that you were coming for your captain kind of gave them a little bit of belief in you, enough to share at least this much, the experience of seeing it. Time goes on. You feel your body moving. You feel yourself being puppeted back and forth and climbing and crawling and up and down and all of that. And there's no real goodbye for most of you. There's just a moment of darkness, and then you're back in the jungle. There are trees around you, the pillars are behind you, and old growth before you.
Did we do it? We did it?
Check myself.
Everyone, check your pockets.
Bite, you move to check your pockets, and in your hand is a vial, probably only a couple of inches tall, sealed with a wax seal, pressed in with something you don't recognize, a symbol you don't recognize. And it's full of this kind of... It looks close enough to water to call it water, but parts of it are shimmering and look like they're moving separately from the rest of the current that you have when you shake up water.
I think this might be it.
Let's get the hell back to the ship. Get this to the captain.
I'm gonna have you guys roll me one last sneak check to get back without incident as we're nearing the end of our game.
20.
Nice.
Yeah, dirty 20.
Dirty 20? 7. Oh, it's
4.
4. All right. We've got 2 successes, 2 failures. It's all gonna come down to if Trina,
please.
Trina rolls 17.
Oh, Trina.
My girl.
As you guys are kind of coming out of it and you find the vial in your hand, she jumps down from the trees and kind of stares at you guys. Are you back to yourselves?
Yeah.
Crap.
In a manner of speaking.
I would love to talk to you all about that experience sometime. Not now, we need to move, but at some point. She leads you back through the jungle. The sun is setting. It is getting dark. And even as it starts to get dark, Trina pulls out like a torch, and then thinks better of it and pulls out an electric torch and flicks the light on. And you make it back to Quebradilla as the sun is setting over the ocean. Almost like you never left, except for the sun is on the other side. You make your way through town to the captain's, the cacique's home. And inside you find a mass of people. Some of them are praying, some of them are singing, some of them are putting poultices on, some of them are grinding up herbs and pilons, some of them are stoking the fire, even though everyone inside is blisteringly hot. And as the door opens, the teenager Zara stumbles over to you. Her big curly hair has gotten even more frizzy with the excess heat, and she's kind of trying to pull it back. Did you do it?
We did it.
I did it.
He did it.
Whoever did it. Amazing. Come in. And she kind of pulls you over to this older woman who takes the vial from you. She's got like cataracts kind of like growing over her eyes, but her hands are short, and she takes it, she unstops the vial, pours half of it into the pilon that she'd been grinding in, and just completely unceremoniously, like this happens on the reg, which it definitely doesn't. She just dumps it into Captain Aniyamoka's mouth, grinds up the herbs in her pilon with the rest of it, takes it out, and literally slaps it onto the tendrils and pushes. And there is silence for a second. And then some kind of unholy retching, not from the captain, but from her wound, as this white tendrilled something vomits itself out of her side and splatters to the ground, and immediately people are on it, just like burning it with, like smashing it, burning it with fire. Other people are coming to like pack the wound. You see Cacique Moya has her hands kind of cupped under the captain's head, and has her forehead pressed to hers as the captain takes her first full, clear, deep breath in probably a week.
What was that?
A monster, a pathogen, a ride along. Call it what you will.
Is it dead?
It will be shortly. And you see that people are like taking turns stepping on it and like dropping like coals on it, and then taking turns stepping on it with the coal on it. And pretty soon it becomes just like a pulp on the floor that gets scooped and tossed into the fire. And then the person who had scooped it continues to scoop that spot of the dirt floor, and throws it all into the fire. And the captain slowly opens her eyes and looks up at Cacique Moya, and she goes, Titi. And she reaches up and kind of pats her cheek sleepily and rolls her head to the side and catches sight of the four of you covered in bug bites, covered in dirt. You haven't really noticed until now. There is like dirt caked along your forearms, under your fingernails. Some of you find it like in your ears. It is like you crawled through some mud, clearly very recently. And she takes it all in, and she kind of sighs. Well, shit, I missed the party.
That was special.
Yeah, you would have missed it if you got possessed too.
It was very good. I got to be something other than myself for a while.
You got to be possessed. I always wanted to go there and see what that was all about.
I mean, I guess we can now. Maybe tomorrow, though.
We could dig that thing out of the fire and then someone else could take a turn.
Maybe not. Maybe rest now. And she kind of dips her head down. And like, as she's about to fall asleep, she forces her eyes open again. She kind of reaches out. Good crew.
Good cat.
And that's where we're gonna end our Backchannels game.
Hey.
Oh,
That was awesome, Lev.
thank you, friends, so much for playing with me
Absolutely.
Just a
and letting me
blast.
possess you.
Yes.
Yes.
And taking a little trip to Arecibo.
Which, as soon as you said it, and I ranked the 3, I was like, "Oh shit, hell yeah!" The captain, the
That
captain was
makes
great.
sense.
Yep.
Amazing.
Gotta talk to the
captain
stars
voice.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you enjoyed this wonderful game, please go check out Backwards Tabletop on Twitter. They're fantastic game designers, fantastic people. If you want their backwater or back roads guides or games, you can check them out at you can find them online at backwards-games.itch.io. They also have links to their socials there and links to the forthcoming Kickstarter that we were so lucky to be able to jump on and play the wonderful Backchannels. Yeah. Anyone else have anything they wanna talk about before we close out here?
Good to go. Thanks for running that, Lev.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, our wonderful friend Alex Johnson, who is a Patreon contributor, is one of the game designers along with Asa. Just A+ folks, A+ games. Check them out. Give them some support. And thank you for joining us for this wonderful little one-shot. Take care of yourselves, friends. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.